If you're like me, you were sold on Black Myth Wukong the moment you saw the trailer and realized that you'd get to be a monkey man. I will play anything that lets me be a monkey man. But beyond that, Black Myth Wukong can be a very challenging experience. So here are some beginner's tips on how to survive this journey to the West. Like most action games, you will need to keep an eye on your stamina. Just about every move you make in Black Myth Wukong will deplete a bit of your stamina bar. So if you end up emptying that by dodging or attacking enemies and bosses too frequently, you'll end up leaving yourself wide open to getting your monkey butt kicked. You will eventually get the opportunity to increase your stamina as the game goes on, but early on, you need to use what you got efficiently to survive. Now for some players, seeing a skill tree like this can be a tad overwhelming, as it can be difficult to determine where to allocate those skill points. Well, thankfully, Black Myth Wukong is following the trend that a lot of games have been following lately, where you're allowed to reset your skills at no cost. This means that you can experiment with the various skills without fear of wasting a skill point. To do this, all you need to do is head to a Keeper's Shrine, select Self-Advance, and then select Reignite the Sparks. This will give you back your sparks, aka your skill points, so you can put them into a different skill. Speaking of Keeper's Shrines, these are Black Myth Wukong's equivalent of Dark Souls' bonfires. They act as checkpoints and they refresh your health, mana, and gourd uses, which is this game's version of an Estus Flask. And of course, like Dark Souls, resting at a Keeper's Shrine also revives every enemy in the area, so keep that in mind. Beyond these common functions, these shrines also give you access to the game's crafting system, as well as a store. The crafting menu lets you craft new weapons and armor pieces, while the store will let you buy items and crafting materials, as well as let you sell treasures that you pick up. The crafting menu and store won't offer much to you at the beginning, but as you progress, more options will become available. So be sure to check in on these shrines as you make progress, and if there are new items available, a little red dot will usually appear to notify you. The main currency in Black Myth Wukong is will, which is gained by defeating enemies and bosses or selling treasures to the store. However, there are other ways to gain will. Additional will can be found by breaking jars that you find around the world. It's not going to be enough to make you rich, but every little bit can be helpful, so make sure to smash those jars to find some extra pocket change. You can also get extra will by interacting with these green orbs. You can find these all over the place, and they'll not only give you a good amount of will, they'll also restore one use of your healing gourd, which can be handy if you're running low on heals. In addition to the gourd, there are other healing items. Medicines can be acquired as you explore, and later you'll be able to craft your own medicines if you have the right ingredients to create them. These ingredients will be easy to spot thanks to their noticeable shine, so make sure to pick them up as you go. And don't hoard these medicines, because you'll likely need them during the tough boss fights. You can use these worry-free if you have them on hand, because you'll always be able to make more, and you'll eventually find recipes for crafting even better medicines later. In games like Elden Ring, it's possible to find a build that works for pretty much the entire game, and just stick to that. But in Black Myth Wukong, many of the 80 bosses that you'll encounter, man, that's a lot of bosses, will require different tactics. So you shouldn't stick to just one build for every encounter. Be prepared to adapt to what you need to do to defeat a boss, and change up your weapons, armor, curios, and even what you put into your gourd to give you buffs or resistances. Also, when it comes to your armor, it's often a good idea to equip a full set of a specific armor rather than a bunch of random different pieces, as that will give you specific benefits which could come in handy later in whatever boss fight you're about to step into. Finally, and this is a tip that should be common for most games, just explore. Just explore away. While this isn't a fully open world game, there are plenty of nooks and crannies for you to dig around in, and doing so will be beneficial, as you can find materials for crafting better gear, ingredients for crafting better medicine, additional will and sparks to spend, and maybe even some new spells and transformations. Sometimes you might just stumble into an entirely optional boss. If you're playing this, you slap down $80 to $90 on a new video game, so you might as well get all your money's worth and just explore this wacky world. For more Black Myth Wukong news and guides, be sure to check out thegamer.com. I'm Jamie Latour, and we'll see you next time.